Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah did everything right. She graduated high school with a 3.8 GPA. She got into a solid 4-year state university, not even a fancy private school, a totally reasonable public one. She studied communications because a guidance counselor told her it was versatile. She graduated in 4 years with a bachelor's degree and a smile in her cap and gown photo. She also graduated with $38,000 in student loan debt. Sarah is now 29 years old. She works in marketing, making $52,000 a year. Her monthly loan payment is $410. After taxes, after rent, after her loan payment, she has less disposable income than her cousin who skipped college entirely and became an electrician. Her cousin makes $58,000 a year, has zero debt, and started earning at 19 instead of 22. Sarah didn't do anything wrong. She followed every single instruction society gave her. Go to school, get good grades, get a degree, get a good job. And yet, if you run the actual math on her decision on a purely financial basis, going to college may have made her poorer than if she'd never gone at all. Not because she's bad with money, because the entire system was built to sell her a story and nobody showed her the invoice until after she signed. My name is Bobby, and I spend way too much time thinking about the hidden mechanics of wealth and the systems designed to look like opportunity but function like traps. If you're someone who's staring at a student loan statement right now, wondering how a piece of paper cost this much, or if you're a parent trying to figure out whether to push your kid toward college, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're not talking about whether education has value. We're talking about whether the way we currently finance it is one of the biggest financial traps of the last 40 years. Here's the story we've all been sold. A college degree is the ticket to the middle class. It's the guaranteed path to a better job, a bigger paycheck, and a stable life. And for decades, that story was true. But somewhere along the way, the cost of the ticket and the value of the ticket stopped matching up, and almost nobody updated the advice. Let's go back to 1980 for a second, because the history here matters. In 1980, the average cost of a 4-year public college degree, tuition, fees, and room and board adjusted for inflation into today's dollars was around $10,000 total for the entire degree. A student working a part-time summer job could realistically cover a meaningful chunk of that. Student loans existed, but they were the exception, not the default. Now look at today. The average cost of a 4-year public university degree is over $100,000. Private universities routinely exceed $200,000. That's not a slight increase. That's a tenfold jump in the price of the exact same product, a bachelor's degree, while wages for entry-level college graduates have not remotely kept pace. According to data from the Federal Reserve, total outstanding student loan debt in the United States now exceeds $1.7 trillion. Let that sink in. $1.7 trillion. That's more than total American credit card debt and auto loan debt combined. So why did the price explode? Because of the same bidding war effect we've talked about before. When the government made student loans easy to get for almost anyone, regardless of major or job prospects, universities realized they could raise tuition every single year and demand would barely drop because students weren't paying with money they had. They were paying with money they were promised they'd have later. Universities didn't have to compete on price because the price wasn't real to the person buying, it was deferred. And deferred pain doesn't stop people from buying. Now let's do to Sarah's degree what we do to every financial decision on this channel. Let's follow the real math. Sarah borrowed $38,000 at a standard federal interest rate of around 6% on a standard 10-year repayment plan. She won't pay back $38,000. She'll pay back closer to $50,000 once interest is factored in. That's the first number most people never calculate. Now subtract opportunity cost. While Sarah was in school for 4 years, her cousin was working. Let's say he started at $30,000 a year as an apprentice electrician and got modest raises. Over those 4 years, he earned roughly $140,000 before taxes. Sarah earned zero, not negative $38,000. Effectively negative $178,000 when you add the money she borrowed and didn't earn, plus the money her cousin did earn during the same 4 years. That's the real starting gap between them, and almost nobody accounts for it because opportunity cost doesn't show up on a bill. Now add in the interest that compounds while you're still in school, the fact that most people don't pay off loans in exactly 10 years. They refinance, they defer, they hit rough patches, and interest capitalizes, and you start to see loans that were originally $38,000 balloon to $45,000 or $50,000 paid over 15 or 20 years instead of 10. And here's the part that should make you angry. Sarah's communications degree, the one she was told was versatile, put her into a job market where the starting salary for her field averages around $42,000. Meanwhile, according to Georgetown University's Center on Education and the Workforce, roughly 40% of college graduates end up in jobs that don't even require a college degree at all. 4 in 10. That means a huge percentage of people are paying tens of thousands of dollars and losing 4 years of income for a credential their actual job doesn't need. So let's calculate Sarah's real return. She spent $50,000 in loan repayment and lost $178,000 in opportunity cost over 4 years for a degree that put her into a job earning roughly $6,000 a year, more than her cousin who has zero debt and started earning 5 years earlier. At that pace, it would take Sarah over 20 years just to break even with where her cousin already is today. 20 years. That's not an investment. That's a financial hole disguised as an achievement. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Bobby, but not every degree is like Sarah's. Engineers make bank, nurses make bank, doctors make bank. And you're right, that's exactly the point. This isn't an argument against education. It's an argument against treating every degree as if it has the same financial return when the data says the opposite. Georgetown's research shows that the highest earning college majors like engineering and computer science have a median lifetime earnings advantage of over $3.4 million compared to a high school diploma. But the lowest earning majors, things like performing arts, education, and yes, general communications, sometimes show almost no earnings advantage at all once debt and opportunity cost are factored in. Same word on the diploma, bachelor's degree, completely different financial outcome depending on what's actually printed underneath it. This is the scam. Not that college is worthless. The scam is that we sell every 18-year-old the exact same pitch, get a degree, any degree, it'll pay off. When the actual data says the return on that degree can range from life-changing to actively harmful, and almost nobody sits a 17-year-old down and shows them the real numbers before they sign a loan that will follow them for 2 decades. So what's the alternative? It's not don't go to college, it's stop treating college like a mandatory rite of passage and start treating it like what it actually is, a financial investment that requires the same due diligence as buying a house or starting a business. Here's what that looks like in practice. Before borrowing a single dollar, look up the median starting salary and mid-career salary for your specific intended major, not college graduates in general. Georgetown, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and even individual university career centers publish this data. If the total cost of your degree, including interest, is going to exceed roughly 1 year of your expected starting salary in that field, you need a serious plan, not blind faith. Second, exhaust cheaper paths before expensive ones. Community college for the first 2 years, then transferring to a 4-year university can cut total tuition costs by 40 to 60% while producing the exact same diploma from the exact same school. Nobody asks whether your first 2 years of gen ed classes happened at a $60,000 a year private school or a $4,000 a year community college. The degree looks identical. Third, treat trade skills and apprenticeships as equally legitimate options, not backup plans. Electricians, plumbers, HVAC technicians, and skilled tradespeople routinely out-earn college graduates in the first decade of their careers with zero debt because they started earning 4 years earlier and never paid the tuition bill in the first place. And finally, if you do take on debt, run the actual math the way we just did for Sarah before you sign, not after. Calculate the real interest-adjusted repayment total and calculate what you're giving up in 4 years of lost income. Compare that total number to the realistic starting salary in your specific field. If the math doesn't work, that's not you being lazy or not believing in yourself. That's you being the one person in the room who actually read the invoice before agreeing to pay it. Here's what I want you to walk away with. The student loan scam was never really about education. Education is genuinely valuable. It's about the fact that for 40 years, we financed a system based on hope instead of math and let 18-year-olds sign life-altering financial contracts with less financial literacy than they'll have by the time they're 30 and finally understand what they agreed to. The families who come out ahead aren't the ones who avoided college entirely, and they're not the ones who blindly borrowed for any degree at any school. They're the ones who treated their education like the biggest financial decision of their life, because for most people, it is. If this video helped you see your degree or your kid's future degree a little differently, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more content that challenges how you think about money. And if you know someone who's about to sign their first student loan without doing this math, send them this video before they sign, not after.